Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Capital Area Council's Class of 2024 Eagle Scout reception. My name is Charles Mead. I am the Director of Marketing and Public Relations for the Capital Area Council and a member of the Eagle Scout Class of 1988. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you to today's event. You never know where and what your Eagle Scout will become as they go into life, and maybe they wind up becoming seeking elected office. Maybe they become a business leader. Maybe, just maybe, they wind up becoming an NFL All-Pro.
I didn't really have much growing up, but I did have a mom, and she gave me a strong foundation. I began playing football at a young age. I like to say I was pretty good at it, but my mom being my mom, she knew I needed something else. She signed me up for Scouts. I quickly fell in love with the outdoors. I even built a really fast power everywhere. It showed me how to take responsibility, how to work with other people, and how to become a leader. That made me a better athlete on the field. In high school, I even broke a couple records. But one of the things that I'm most proud of is I collected donations from my community to support those in need, and that was my Eagle Scout project. It took a lot of time. I wouldn't change it for the world, and a lot of people benefited from it, including me. Scouting made me the man I am today.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will help me welcome the Capital Area Council's Class of 2024.
To do this anymore. What? Being a Cub Scout is the best thing in the world! You just don't know it yet because we're only tigers, but soon we'll be wolves, then bears, but the ultimate, super duper, ooper shamooper rank is Eagle Scout. That's when we become heroes. It's the top of the top. No more day camps. We choose the activities. We have to stick with this. Come on.
And you stuck with it, and with hard work and maybe a little help from your parents, you made it from Cub Scouts to today. 333 Eagle Scouts in our council in 2024. So to take you, yes, by all means, to take you the rest of the way, please welcome our MC for today's event, Eagle Scout and contributor to Texas Sports Unfiltered, Stu Myrick.
Good morning. As Charles said, my name is Stu Myrick. I am an Eagle Scout from the class of 1981. And as he said, I am a contributor, on-site reporter for Texas Sports Unfiltered, which is a great YouTube channel, covers all things Texas sports, the Longhorns. I cover the Austin FC, Go Verde. It's great to be here. This is my, I believe, my sixth time to serve as the MC for this special occasion to recognize the young men and women that have achieved the highest rank in scouting. And it's something that I'm very proud of. Charles, all of us that are Eagle Scouts, we're all proud of it. Something we hold dear to our hearts. And it's a wonderful day today to be able to recognize the newest members of the Eagle Scout Brotherhood, Sisterhood, whatever you want to call it, the group of us. A very exclusive group, but it's a group that you will be in for the rest of your life. As we do at every Scout meeting, we're going to begin our program with the Pledge of Allegiance as well as the Scout Oath and Scout Law. So I'd like to ask Trevor Suggs, Eagle Scout from Troop 405 in Georgetown, to come up and lead us and remind us of our duties as Americans and Scouts. Trevor, come on up.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, Scout Oath, and Scout Law. 2. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Scout sign. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Scout Law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Trevor. We are grateful for those companies that sponsor things like this, and one of the great companies here in Austin, A+ Federal Credit Union. They've been a tremendous supporter of Scouting in Central Texas since 2010, and they are sponsoring today's event. A+ Federal Credit Union, fantastic entity. I'm part of the credit union. I use it, but they have been so instrumental in what we do in scouting here in Central Texas, working, doing financial workshops, learning how to, use your finances through life. So we are so grateful to A+ Federal Credit Union for their support. Our keynote speaker today is a fellow Eagle Scout by the name of Andy Bell. Andy is an Eagle Scout and the CEO of Thinkery. He is a STEM education advocate and a thought leader who has spent his career building and leading programs that improve student outcomes through engaging in hands-on learning. As Director of Innovation at LEGO Education, he shaped products and experiences that inspire creativity in children across the globe through play-based learning. More recently, Andy led the academic business group for National Instruments, driving significant improvement in student engagement and success through project-based learning. He holds a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from Georgia Tech and a certificate in integrative STEM education from Virginia Tech. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Eagle Scout Andy Bell.
If everybody's okay, I'm gonna stand over here and speak to our amazing Eagles, partially because I'm tall enough that I don't need a podium also, so it works out well. Fun fact before I get started, it turns out that the Scout uniform over time has this really interesting property that it shrinks. Because when I pulled out my Scout uniform to put it on, it was at least a size smaller than it used to be. So just want to share that with everybody. Good morning. It is an unbelievable honor for me to be here and to be part of celebrating such an incredible group of current leaders and future leaders. I first and foremost want to congratulate every one of our new Eagle Scouts here today. I hope we have a lot of applauses, so let's do another one now. What you have accomplished is one of the most lauded and admired achievements in our society, and something you should be extraordinarily proud of. But I also want to recognize that you couldn't have done this alone, and I want to really recognize everyone that took part in your journey. And if you haven't said it, I know you have said it, but after this is your one homework assignment for today. I want you to say it again to your family, to your friends, to your troop leaders that helped you along this journey, because that's extremely important, and we'll say thank you right now as well. So what an incredible part of an accomplishment for everyone here today. So I'm excited to share some reflections. One of the things that I have learned in my life is that what is most important is not always that final destination, but it's the journey, and it's everything that you learn along the way. And part of what makes being an Eagle Scout so special is how rigorous and rewarding that journey to get here is, and the foundational skills that you develop that will help serve as your compass throughout life. The Eagle Scout rank isn't just an achievement you earn once and you put it on a shelf. It's truly the foundation that you will be able to build on for the rest of your life. Now, when I think about the journey that brought each of you here today, and I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about, I'm reminded of those long backpacking trips that many of us have been on. And those trips really tested our resolve, our preparation, and our character. So I want you to start by thinking back to standing at a trailhead. You've got your map, or maybe that's dating me, you've got your GPS, and you have your pack on your shoulders, and the path ahead winds into terrain that we can't fully see. And that moment is going to mirror many crossroads that you're going to face in life. College decisions, career choices, relationships, where we must commit to a direction despite not being able to see the full journey. And as you begin the hike, those first few miles are so exhilarating, right? Your boots are dry, your spirit's high, the possibilities are endless. And then comes the steady climb. Your breathing gets heavier, your pack starts to weigh heavy on your shoulders. You may even start to question your preparation, your pace, perhaps even the path that you're on. Well, life delivers these same challenges: demanding courses, competitive job markets, personal setbacks. Moments that are going to test whether you're truly prepared for the journey ahead. Do you remember maybe that unexpected stream crossing that wasn't on the map? Or the sudden weather change that forced you to adapt your entire plan? Well, life too rarely follows our carefully plotted course. This is a really important lesson. The difference between success and failure isn't the absence of those obstacles, it's how we respond to them, because in the end, that's all that we can truly control. There are those moments on the trail when we all want to turn back. Your muscles ache, your water runs low, the summit seems impossibly far. Well, in life's journey, you'll face similar points of doubt and exhaustion. These are the moments when being an Eagle Scout matters the most, when keeping yourself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight must guide your steps forward. Along the trail, you're going to encounter fellow hikers. And those fellow hikers, some of them are going to be struggling more than you, some of them are going to be offering encouragement and nourishment. Well, life's path is also filled with those who need your help, and with those whose wisdom and support will prove transformational in your journey. And then, we all can remember this, right? The magical moment when you crest that ridge and the view opens before you, and suddenly that hard work and perseverance were worth every single step. You see the valley that you traversed behind you, the winding path that brought you here, and you see the magnificent vista that was impossible to imagine when you were at that early trailhead. Well, these are life's moments of achievement and impacts and clarity, are going to parallel to other life moments. Graduation day, seeing someone that you have been mentoring thrive, maybe landing that job you really want to get, completing an incredible community project and knowing the impact that's going to have in the lives of others, starting a family, perspectives only earned through commitment, persistence, and dedication. But here's what us experienced backpackers know, right? The summit isn't the end of the journey. There's still the descent, which brings its own thrills and challenges. And beyond this mountain, there are always going to be other mountains waiting for us. Just as in life, each milestone opens the door to new challenges, new vistas, new opportunities to apply the lessons you've learned, to make a positive impact in the world, to continue to do a good turn daily. The true measure of an Eagle Scout isn't just reaching one summit, but it's developing the character to approach each new mountain with wisdom, preparation, and unwavering determination. When I stood before the Eagle Scout Board of Review, I didn't fully comprehend at that time how the achievement would become the foundation for everything that followed for me. But now looking back, I can clearly see how earning my Eagle Scout provided me with more than just a medal and a title. It instilled in me a moral compass that is calibrated to my 3 personal core values that have guided every step of my journey. My first core value is exploration, to seek and to learn with marvel and wonder through new and exciting experiences. My second personal core value, belonging, sharing connection with others through fellowship and purpose. And my third core value is compassion, to actively contribute to the welfare of those around us through kindness, concern, and action. Well, my value of exploration was first kindled to me in countless scout campouts and wilderness adventures, through achieving new and impactful merit badges from life-saving to astronomy to citizenship in the world. And this wasn't just about discovering new trails or learning a new skill. It was about developing a mindset that embraces the unknown and relentlessly seeks to find and realize the opportunity in all things. When I walked onto Georgia Tech's campus as a freshman, shortly after receiving my Eagle Scout, it was overwhelming, it was daunting, it was a whole new world. But that same spirit of exploration helped me navigate this new world and the challenging engineering curriculum. And rather than seeing this next chapter as something that I couldn't persevere through and embrace, my scout training taught me to view it as an exciting new territory to be mapped and to be explored and to find those many new badges of life to add to everything that has been built on my foundation. Early in my professional career, I embraced the spirit of exploration by finding as many new learning opportunities and chances to grow as possible. I followed my passion, which is in education, and I applied my foundation of leadership that I had developed in scouting to create new job opportunities, even helping invent new positions that didn't exist at companies that I worked for. That led me to an incredible job working for Lego, where I was able to develop new innovative robotics learning solutions. And part of that, I had the dream opportunity to be part of the core team in scouting that created the robotics merit badge. Anybody here have the robotics merit badge? It's not too late to get it. We can work on it. Got space at the Thinkery. It'll be great. And always recognizing, though, that life is a journey. So I built on these different experiences and leadership opportunities to my current stop as CEO of Thinkery. And Here I had the opportunity to apply a lot of the same principles that were fundamental for me in scouting to help transform learning to be more hands-on and engaging, to fail and to learn from failure. We use a term called risky play. Does any of this sound familiar maybe to some of your scouting experiences? These are core to helping ensure that all students become lifelong learners. And here's another important part of this talk for you. This foundation from scouting is more important for you as this class of Eagle Scouts than ever, than the generations before you. Because you're entering a world that is dynamically changing. It's estimated that more than 50% of the jobs that are available today didn't exist 50 years ago, and an even higher percentage of the jobs of tomorrow don't exist today. That might sound daunting, but it's actually just an incredible opportunity. I often get the question, what job should I pursue? What field should I pursue? Well, I believe that's fundamentally the wrong question. The right question is, what skills do I need? What are the merit badges of life so that I can be successful across many jobs, across many careers? And then what is that job or opportunity right now that is going to help me develop those? My second core value of belonging is deeply rooted in my scout troop experience, which showed me the power of community. We're all different in many ways, yet united in a shared purpose and by our scout law. This understanding became so valuable as I entered the professional world. As the old African proverb says, I recognized that I could go fast if I went alone, but if I wanted to go far, I needed to do it together. This approach has been central to my professional success. If you can find a group who has a shared purpose, a shared outcome, and you can combine your unique super strengths and skills, you can unlock new doors that were unimaginable before that. This value also guided me to prioritize relationships above achievements. It helped me recognize that success rings hollow without people to share it with. This led me to invest deeply in friendships, to build a marriage founded on mutual respect and care, to approach parenthood with patience and empathy. My final and perhaps most important core value that scouting deeply helped shape is my commitment to compassion. The Scout Law calls on us to be helpful, friendly, courteous, and kind. All expressions of compassion in action. This led me to pursue ways that I could make an impact in the lives of others as a volunteer, as a big brother, in simple, daily good terms. It also led me to pursue a professional career that leaves the world in a better place than we found it. Go back to those campsites, always leaving them in a better place than we found it. Now, the technical skills from Georgia Tech may have secured my first job, but it was the compassion learned in scouting that helped me build a fulfilling life. So these three values, exploration, belonging, and compassion, have been my North Stars through my life's various adventures. They've guided me through career decisions, when to take risks, when to play it safe. They've helped me balance professional ambitions with family priorities. They've encouraged me to plan backpacking trips to Machu Picchu with some of my best friends, to hike the Camino with my wife, to explore national parks with my kids. When I align my decisions with these values, I find a clarity of purpose, and that, perhaps, is the greatest gift that scouting has given to me. Not just the skills to succeed, but the wisdom to define success in terms that truly matter. Now I'm gonna do a pretty deep personal share with you guys today, so thank you in advance. It was this foundation that sustained me through my most challenging trail yet. 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with brain cancer. In an instant, my life's carefully planned route was completely altered. As you might be imagining right now, the diagnosis turned my world upside down, forcing me to navigate terrain that I'd never expected to traverse. In those first overwhelming days after my diagnosis, it was the explorer in me that began researching treatment options and seeking to understand what lay ahead. Rather than being paralyzed and overwhelmed by the fear of the unknown, I approached it as I would almost an unmarked trail, with caution, yes, but with the determination to find this uncharted path forward. My value of belonging became my lifeline. My community, my people rallied around me with the same unwavering support that I experienced in my patrol during difficult hikes. I learned that true belonging isn't just about the good times, it's about who stands by you when the storm hits. The community I had built through my life became that shelter. And compassion took on an entirely new meaning. I found myself practicing self-compassion during multiple brain surgeries and through difficult treatments, remembering the kindness that we were taught to show others, sometimes we have to show ourselves. One of the biggest gifts from this most difficult moment of my life was that I developed a deep compassion understanding that everyone is going to go through difficult times. You can officially scratch brain cancer off your list because I've taken that one, so yours will be a little less traumatic. But those difficult times are only going to be navigated by coming together, and it's helped me create a deeper connection with my fellow travelers in ways that I never anticipated. There were dark valleys in this journey, as you might imagine, where I couldn't see the summit. Days when the pack felt too heavy to carry. But the perseverance that I learned, earning my Eagle rank, reminded me that the most meaningful views often come from the steepest climbs. And while this mountain wasn't one that I chose to climb, really would have preferred not to climb that one, the values and skills from scouting really equipped me to face it with bravery and with reverence. So, as I reflect back on the incredible highs of life and the challenging lows, my biggest lesson is that when I align my decisions with my core values, I find a clarity of purpose. And that's perhaps the greatest gift that scouting has given me. Not just the skills to succeed, but the wisdom to define success in terms that truly matter. Your journey ahead will be filled with both opportunities and challenges, I can guarantee you that, with triumphs and with setbacks. But remember that scouting has helped build with you a foundation, not just for preparing you to be prepared for whatever comes, but to truly thrive in the face of life's greatest adventure. Thank you for listening. Thank you for everything that you have done already to give back to your community. And I'm really excited for this world, for y'all to continue to be leaders and to be part of that. So congratulations again.
Thank you, Andy. It inspires me, and I've been doing this a little while, so very inspirational words. You saw at the start of the show, the video, David Montgomery, the running back for the Detroit Lions, fellow Eagle Scout, and what scouting did for him. I mean, he was an integral part of the Lions winning the NFC North this past season. We'd like to share some additional words from other Eagles who have walked in your shoes. First up, as an adult, this Eagle leads a company that makes drones that dogfight other drones. Now, look, I work in pro wrestling, so maybe we can make something. Not really, but growing up, his desire to sleep late at camp almost kept him from becoming an Eagle Scout. Take a watch.
What I enjoyed most about my scouting experience was the camping, being able to go out to different locations that you were unfamiliar with, explore them, set up your camp, cook your own food. All that was a lot of fun. My most memorable camp experience was the 1997 National Jamboree. This was a large event where you had tens of thousands of scouts there. It was an experience that was unlike any that I ever had in terms of camping. The biggest obstacle that I faced in getting my Eagle Scout was the Life Saving Merit Badge. Typically, in the Heart of the Merit Council, you would get your Life Saving Merit Badge at summer camp, and for the summer camp I went to, Bartle, I kind of just didn't want to do it because I wanted to actually sleep in a little bit more. You had to get up way early in order to go to the pool. It was super cold, and so I put it off. Years passed, and I was getting real close to turning 18, and when that happened, it was like, oh, I got to get this Life Saving Merit Badge quickly. And so once I got that last merit badge, which was, arguably one of the harder ones, I was able to get my Eagle Scout. My Eagle Scout project involved setting up a curriculum around maintaining and cleaning computer equipment at my local high school. I was trying to do something unorthodox in terms of a project, and then trying to fit that project into the framework as to what qualifies as an Eagle Scout project and all the various milestones that you have to go through in order to complete that project accordingly. For my career, I'm an executive at a company that makes drones that dogfight other drones. This is for military and law enforcement use cases. It's bleeding edge technology, but I'll tell you that one of the things with dealing in bleeding edge technology is being able to have the wherewithal and discipline to be able to understand where the technology is going, how the customers are going to be utilizing that technology, in this case, the warfighter or the law enforcement personnel. And the biggest lesson that I learned from becoming an Eagle Scout was having the wherewithal and discipline to continue on even when it gets hard. Scouting impacted my career in that it provided the discipline to be able to endure hard, challenging projects. Oftentimes, it gets hard when you're working on new technology, when working on new problems that haven't been solved before. And so being able to navigate those challenges and do so with the persistence and determination that you would also need to get your Eagle Scout is something that has benefited me greatly in my career. When I think about my journey between childhood and adulthood, I look back fondly on the interactions I had with both the older scouts in my troop as well as the scout leaders. These were folks that as a child I viewed as having everything together. They understood the tasks that they were set to accomplish, be it camping or organizing events. They had tremendous wisdom. And as I grew older, I appreciate that they had all those things, but they were also people, just like I was. They had problems, they had challenges. They weren't perfect in their ability to surmount these problems, but they tried hard and they composed themselves well in the process. As an adult, I incorporate that into how I live, in understanding that we all have problems, but we can surmount them together and we can give it a good shot. Sometimes we're going to be successful, sometimes we're not going to be successful, but we try to do the right thing and do our best. In 2025, we are living in truly wondrous times. Times of new discoveries, new technologies, but also times of uncertainty. The skill sets that you learn as an Eagle Scout in learning new skills, achieving all those merit badges, but also learning how to address new challenges are all skill sets that will serve you well as you make your way in your pursuits as an adult. Congratulations to the Eagle Scout class of 2024. Best of luck in all your endeavors.
When we think about the 10th point of the Scout Law, a scout is brave, usually we're thinking of somebody doing something heroic. But as our next Eagle Scout will tell you, being brave can also mean listening to good advice. And that good advice can take you far, sometimes even to the Texas Supreme Court. Take a watch.
There were a lot of things that I really enjoyed about my scouting experience, the values that Scouts teaches, the self-reliance that I found, but also the teamwork skills that I built as a Scout. And I really enjoyed the different merit badges, learning about so many different kinds of things, and of course the campouts. One of the things I remember most vividly about my journey to Eagle is the leadership skills that Scouts teaches you, and that sometimes, kids have a lot of energy and they get unruly, and when you're asked to be lead your fellow Scouts, sometimes the tendency can be to try to dictate, but really the Scout Law helps teach you how to motivate your fellow Scouts to want to work together and accomplish the things that the troop needs to do or the patrol needs to do as a group. And so that was something that I really learned and was able to integrate into my leadership style, and I've used it my whole career. Professionally, I serve as a justice on the Supreme Court of Texas. And one of the things that Scouting has done to really help me in my career is the values that you learn from the Scout Law. There's different ways to teach values over history, but teaching them through virtues, through the points of the Scout Law is really what Aristotle said is the best way to learn values. There's also a rules approach. Here are the rules you're supposed to follow to be a good person, and you try to cover every situation, but you're never going to cover every single situation. And that's why the values that are in the Scout Law are so important, because they really, no matter what situation you confront, they help guide you to what is the right and ethical thing to do in that situation. And that's come in so handy for me so many times in my career. My scouting mentors were really my dad and my grandfather. I'm blessed to be a third generation Eagle Scout, and now working with my son, who's a Star Scout in Troop 5, so that he's hopefully going to be our fourth generation Eagle. And that inspiration from my dad and my grandfather, and the time that we got to spend together in scouting, was really so formative for me, and has helped me as I've become an adult and to really understand, and now that I'm doing scouting with my son, to see the impact that it's making on him and his fellow Scouts, and the ways that I can share with them about how to incorporate the values of the Scout Law into everything that they do, not just with Scouts, and that it can really help transform them into the kind of wonderful adults and contributing citizens that we all want. One of the things that Scouts taught me was to be open to trying a lot of new things. And so when I went to law school, I thought I was going to be a tax litigator, which was my mother's practice. But one of my professors said, you really ought to think about going and being a law clerk for a judge for a couple of years after law school. And he encouraged me to apply for clerkship at the U.S. Supreme Court, which I didn't think I was going to get, but I did end up getting it thanks to his inspiration and encouragement to do that. And it totally changed my career path because I was open to trying new things, and I think Scouts really helped me with that. One of the biggest challenges I've had professionally that scouting really helped me with was several years ago I lost an election to my Court of Appeals seat in Houston due to national political trends. And I really fell back on the Scout Law and remembering to be cheerful and remembering to be brave and looking for new opportunities, and also really falling back on loyal friends who could be helpful to me in finding my next step. And charting a new path, which scouting really teaches you to help how to find the resources to blaze that trail. And thanks to that and the help of many friends and perseverance, I ended up being appointed to my dream job on the Texas Supreme Court and then winning election to that seat. So I'm very thankful for my scouting values and background and helping me on that journey. In using the leadership skills you've learned in becoming an Eagle Scout, remember to incorporate other people's vision into the project that you're working on, because that will help motivate them. It will probably also lead to a better product if everybody is contributing to it, and can help everybody pull together to get whatever it is you're working on across the finish line in a way that's going to be the best for everybody. Congratulations to the Eagle Scout class of 2024. Remember to follow the points of the Scout Law. They'll never steer you wrong.
For the 8th year, our council has awarded the Lockhart Scholarship to eligible Eagle Scouts. I'll now turn the program over to Charles Meade to recognize this year's recipients.
Thank you, Stu. All right, Eagles, this is roughly halftime of the program. I've noticed most of you are paying attention. You've all been tremendous sports thus far, so thank you. And it's all downhill from here, so stay with us. I hope if you take nothing else from today, it's that everything that you need to be successful in life, you already have. From the oath and the law and everything that you've learned in this program, things that mom and dad and other leaders, Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so, your Scoutmaster, Assistant Scoutmaster has tried to tell you many times. These are all things that will help you be successful in life. Certification, education helps, as Andy mentioned earlier. Of course, that takes money, but we can help with that. So, first, a little history. Byron Lockhart was born in 1917. He grew up in Waco, where he earned the rank of Eagle Scout, just like you did. After earning his undergraduate degree in law degrees at Baylor University, he worked for the FBI for 6 years, and then he began a successful career as an attorney right here in Austin. The lessons he learned as an Eagle Scout were so meaningful to him that he established a trust to provide scholarships for Eagle Scouts to pursue a post-secondary education. And in our case, that means if you want to do a 2-year degree, a 4-year degree, if you want to do trade school, if you want to do some type of certification that helps you get a job, this money all covers any of that. And this year, each of our scholarships recipients are going to receive a one-time $5,000 scholarship. As Mr. Yates is going to point out later, I'm fairly confident that we hope to grow this over time and make those numbers even larger. But the scouts that you're going to hear in a moment, the names that I say, are all scouts who share some common threads, not the least of which is almost intense activity in the program. They've done camps, they've done training, they've done leadership positions, they've done a lot of things, and they all exemplify Scout service. As I mentioned, all of these recipients have been very active in the scouting program, and I will now announce our 3 recipients this year for the Lockhart Eagle Scout scholarships is Emma Casper, Andrew Hahn, and Keegan Farrell. Emma, are you with us in this morning? I could not recall. I don't see anybody. I mean, this would be a time where you could just stand up and say, yes, I'm in, but no. Okay, yeah, Scout is trustworthy. So, well, I do know that Keegan Farrell, we already knew that he could not make it because he's in New York City right now conducting or taking part in a project. He did send us some video comments though, so we'll hear what he has to say to us.
My name is Keegan Farrell with Troop 9, and I want to thank the Capital Area Council for the honor of being selected as one of the recipients of the Byron Lockhart Scholarship. I'm sorry I can't be here today in person, for I'm representing my school in an international Model 1 competition in New York City, where I will be using what I learned in my citizenship in the World Merit Badge. I am very grateful for all my experiences in scouting. Looking back over my scouting career, I recognize that for every merit badge I've earned, every rank advancement, and every hour of volunteer service, there was a multitude of adult volunteers helping me and my troop. I want to thank them, my scoutmasters, Mr. and Connell and Mr. McCain. I want to thank my Philmont and Sea-Base leaders, Mr. and Mrs. Osborne, Mrs. Macbeth, Mr. Graff, and Mr. Shaw. I especially want to thank my parents. I want to conclude that noting how Byron Lockhart was an Eagle Scout who was born over 100 years ago and is helping me and my family in pursuing my college dreams. That's something for every Eagle in this room should strive for, and I know I will. So thank you.
All right, Keegan, thank you. I do want to recognize Christian Doze, if he'll stand for us, Christian. Everybody, Christian is the chair of the scholarship committee, and his group put in a lot of time and there's a plan of evaluating the applicants. And Christian would certainly want you all to know that Eagles, if you didn't even know this was a thing and didn't apply this year, you're in luck because you can apply for next year's consideration. So if you go on our website and you search scholarships, you will find the information and it leads you to the application to fill that out. So unless you hate money, don't apply. All right. Okay, good. So there's one more thing that we want to do here before I turn the program back to Stu, and that is there is a national award that is presented every year at the local council and then subsequently the territory level and eventually at the national level. And this is called the Glenn A. and Melinda W. Adams National Eagle Scout Service Project of the Year Award. Now, as you might guess, this honor is presented to a scout with an exceptional Eagle Scout service project. And we're very pleased to announce and recognize this year that our council's Adams Award recipient is Trevor Suggs from Scouts BSA Troop 405. Trevor, come on down. Now, Trevor, aside from being very tall, his project involved nearly 1,000 hours of work to create a memorial garden. And let me see if I can get the photos. Peter, did I do that right? More than 1,000 hours of work to create a memorial garden at the International Order of Oddfellows Cemetery in Georgetown for created remains of deceased residents who are unclaimed by family. Trevor, that's a pretty antiseptic description. Anything else that you'd like to tell folks briefly about your project and your sort of impetus for doing that?
Absolutely, thank you. So yeah, my Eagle Scout Service project began in about February 2023 and ended in May 2024. It took 907 hours exactly of service from both the community and myself to complete. It consists of 5 major components, as you can probably see in the picture on there. It has a 945 square foot concrete walkway, 250 square foot scatter bed consisting of 3 layers in which cremated remains may be scattered. It has very large capacity because it slowly filters the ashes into the ground, basically making it have infinite capacity over the many decades that it will exist. It also has a metal memorial wall on which tags can be hung to remember individuals scattered in the garden. It also has a 25-foot flagpole to avoid disaster while people are scattering ashes so that it doesn't fly in their face. It also has 2 benches, and I fundraised about $22,000 to afford this project, but it cost over $50,000 due to the discounts and additional fees that I had reduced with the 5 vendors I worked with. I worked with 5 incredible vendors across my time during the project, including James About of Superior Stone, who provided all of the stonework for the bordering benches. I also had I had James About. I also had Dale Lane of Austin Flag and Flagpole. I had Ryan Bartholomew of Lauren Concrete, who generously assisted me with both learning about concrete and also donating a great portion of it. I also had blanking on a couple more names, but so many wonderful people who helped me. It also took thousands of course, dollars, but over 100 volunteers also worked on this project as well. I know I had at least 50 to 70 people who came out to physically work on these work.
Everybody get all that? Okay, congratulations again, Trevor. And we'll encourage for unit leaders, make sure that your folks, your Eagles know about and look at the Adams Award and submit those applications. We'd love to be able to consider them in future years. Stu, we'll give it back to you to kind of get us on the downslope of today's program.
Awesome. Thank you, Charles. And congratulations to the scholarship recipients as well as Trevor. An impressive project. The Eagle Scholarship can be one part of helping you achieve your educational goals. Another key are the teachers who helped mentor you, helped you throughout high school. Eagle Scout Kura Vermani, who serves as our council commissioner, wants to share one way you can thank those educators who have helped you on your journey to this point.
Thank you, Stu. So a couple of questions for our Eagle Scouts. How many of you had teachers write one of your recommendations for the Eagle Scout? Raise your hand. All right, for those who are seniors, how many had teachers write recommendations for your college application? All right, the question is, why did you choose those teachers? Think about that for a second. By any chance, were those teachers' behaviors in the classroom reflective of the Scout Oath and Scout Law? If they are, you have an opportunity to recognize them. And Andy said you have one homework assignment. I'm giving you two. The second one. The second one is we have an award that will recognize those teachers. If you have a teacher or an educator that you know that you believe exemplifies the values of the Scout Oath and Scout Law, it's called the Albert Fretwell Award. Albert Fretwell was the second CEO or chairman of the Boy Scouts of America back in 1915. And he was an educator, so his award is named after him. You can go onto our council website, look up awards, there's a form, and you can fill it out and send it into the council. My only question, ask of you when you do this is put as much effort into the application as your teachers did for your applications. A one-sentence thing doesn't really describe much to us. Give us a paragraph. And if you have other scouts in your school that also think the same way, have two people write recommendations for these letters. Afterwards, we can go to the schools and award these awards to the teachers and educators. And what I will tell you is most of them are blown away. They had no idea that their students thought of them in that way. So that's your guys. I want you to do it and do it. Don't wait. Do it like now. Do it today. Do it this week. And then email it into our council and we can take it from there. And one other quick lesson I'm going to ask is teach you is the power of the microphone, so you can go off script a little bit. I see a few people with NYLT neckerchiefs. How many of you attended NYLT? All right, so if I ask the question, what is a vision? You can give me an answer. What is a vision?
What the future success looks like.
That ties in pretty well to what Mr. Bell said. Thank you, and don't forget to fill in those applications for the Fretwell Award.
Thank you, Mr. Bill. Each year, Eagles who attend this ceremony will leave with a limited edition keepsake, an Eagle coin, just like this. These are custom minted for our council with the year of the Eagle class that is being honored. And we only order enough to honor that class. So once they're gone, they're gone. The Eagle coin is a keepsake and a symbol. It represents the memories of fun adventures and hard work you remember as a scout, as well as a reminder of the responsibilities you still have ahead of you. That's why you will see the phrase on this coin, once an Eagle, always an Eagle. So I will call on our Council Commissioner, Kura Vermani, our Council President, Kurt Lemke, and our Scout Executive, John Yates, to join me on stage. And it will be our honor to congratulate each of our 2024 Eagle Scouts as they cross the stage and receive their Eagle coin. Once again, turn things over to Charles Meade.
All right, Eagles. This is a little bit of follow the leader, leadership by example. But this is the fun part. So everybody stand up, and you're going to file. First row, you're going to come this way. Second row, you're going to file right behind them, and we're going to go, and we're going to say your name, or I'm going to say your name, hopefully correctly. And then you're going to go across the stage and shake hands and receive your coin. So everybody ready? Okay. First and foremost, please congratulate Raleigh Asir from Scouts PSA Troop 70 out of Bee Cave District. His Eagle mentor is Jillian Perkins. Stephen Hudspeth out of Scouts PSA Troop 4277 in Blackland Prairie District. George Finger, Scouts PSA Troop 4277 in Blackland Prairie District. Alan Antunes out of Scouts PSA Troop 234 in North Shore District. His Eagle mentor is Ben Ryan. Xavier Stewart, Scouts PSA Troop 182 out of Colorado River District. His Eagle mentor is Dave Smith. Christopher Cowan, Scouts PSA Troop 454 out of Bee Cave District. His Eagle mentor is Sam Painovich. Connor Cowan, Scouts PSA Troop 454 out of Bee Cave District. His Eagle mentor is Julie Ferguson. Luke Heatley, Scouts PSA Troop 511 out of Armadillo District. Douglas Goodman, Scouts PSA Troop 413 out of Armadillo District. His Eagle mentor is David Nunnery. Tarkin Miller, Scouts PSA Troop 150 out of North Shore District. Preston Kasperson, Scouts PSA Troop 33, Armadillo District. Bill Truitt out of Scouts PSA Troop 421 in Armadillo District. His Eagle mentor is Tony Truitt. Shane Novak, Scouts PSA Troop 685 out of Blackland Prairie District. Jake Royal, Scouts PSA Troop 52 out of Bee Cave District. His Eagle mentor is his dad, Greg Royal. Connor Richardson, Scouts PSA Troop 990, the mighty 990 out of Bee Cave District. His Eagle mentor is Harley Walsh. Paul Barron, Scouts PSA Troop 89 out of Armadillo District. Isaac Haven, Scouts PSA Troop 1423 out of Colorado River District. His Eagle mentor is Kevin Gain. Mitchell Wong, Scouts PSA Troop 31 out of Bee Cave District. His Eagle mentor is Molly Leach. Angel Martinez, Scouts PSA Troop 489 out of Armadillo District. Morgan Reed, Scouts PSA Troop 408 out of Blackland Prairie District. Arnav Mukherjee, Scouts PSA Troop 408, Blackland Prairie District. His Eagle mentor, Bobby Weibel. Benjamin Gerbolini, Scouts PSA Troop 408, Blackland Prairie District. His Eagle mentor, Bobby Weibel. Connor Shank, Scouts PSA Troop 61, Thunderbird District. His Eagle mentor is Keith Dewey. Nick Wood, Scouts PSA Troop 410 out of Armadillo District. His Eagle mentor is Greg Randall. Hudson Radcliffe, Scouts PSA Troop 201, North Shore District. His Eagle mentor is Tom Evans. Ryan James, Scouts PSA Troop 258. Yes, very popular, North Shore District. Matthew Casio, Scouts PSA Troop 64 out of San Gabriel District. His Eagle mentor is Miss Lenny. Colin Spanik, Scouts PSA Troop 64 out of San Gabriel District. His Eagle mentor is John Casio. Jacob Lenny, Scouts PSA Troop 64 out of San Gabriel District, and his Eagle mentors are Mr. Casio, Miss Nagel, and Mr. Pettigrew. Paul Taylor, Scouts PSA Troop 64 out of San Gabriel District. His Eagle mentors are Marco Gordon, Tanya Taylor, and Scott Taylor. Trevor Suggs, you know him, Troop 405 out of San Gabriel District. His Eagle mentors Dustin Hammett, John McIntyre, and Barbara McMillan. Luke Alcott, Troop 405 out of San Gabriel District. His Eagle mentors Sean Alcott, David Hancourt, Miss Stacy, Miss BJ, and Mr. Green. Owen Massey, Troop 405, Scout the San Gabriel District, Eagle mentors Mr. Gray, Mr. McIntyre, Mr. Suggs, and Mr. Hammond. J.D. Cassidy, Scouts PSA Troop 550 out of BK District. His Eagle mentor is Ted Thompson. Sophie Martin, Scouts PSA Troop 358, North Shore District. Eagle mentor J.T. Davenport. Malia Calorie, Scouts PSA Troop 72 out of BK District. His Eagle mentor is, her Eagle mentor, David Howell. Advik Gonugunta, Scouts PSA Troop 233 out of North Shore District. His Eagle mentor is Jacob Troller. And last but not least, Mahir Bide out of Scouts PSA Troop 202 in North Shore District. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, the Eagle Scout class of 2024.
Once again, congratulations to the Eagle Scout class of 2024. So that's always a special moment, and I'm lucky enough I get to stand up here with them and congratulate all these Eagles, and it's really something special. I will say that. The Eagle coin is not your only memento, but the other one stays here. So at the end of the ceremony today, your family, the guests, are invited to go out to the front of the Fickett Center to the Pewitt Eagle Wall. There you will find your name has been added to the list of every Eagle Scout from our council's 113-year history. You can take pride in being a part of a group that has gone on to work as business owners, educators, doctors, nurses, service members, Army vet myself, farmers, ranchers, public servants, clergy, scientists, and dozens more professions. Just like them, you probably will be called on someday to once again provide leadership and service in your community wherever you live. That's what people expect of Eagle Scouts like us. I'm proud to be an Eagle Scout. Just like every other Eagle in our audience today. And so at this time, I'd like to ask every Eagle Scout in the audience, no matter whenever you earn it. So please stand and allow us to recognize you as proof that you never stopped being Eagle Scouts. Eagle Scouts. Eagle Scouts, please remain standing. Class of 2024, please stand as well. As a reminder of all the responsibilities we have for the rest of our lives, I would like for you to join me in reciting the Eagle Oath. Scouts up. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example and my status and my influence count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in my troop, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor. 2. Thank you, Eagles. You may be seated. You've learned a lot on the Treadly Eagle, and we can use that knowledge and Scout spirit in making our 2025 summer camp program at Lost Pines one of the best programs in the country. And it already is, but we can use your help. Here's the great part. We'll even pay you for it. Like real money. Again, unless you hate money, that's a good thing, right? Here's a special message that we hope you'll consider.
Lost Pine Scout Reservation is one of the premier scout camps in Texas. Each summer, Lost Pines hires more than 100 staff members.
Hey, you, new Eagle Scout, guess what? Staffing at Lost Pines is the best experience you're ever gonna have. You wanna know why? Because these kids wanna be here. They wanna learn, they wanna do merit badges. You're gonna be awesome.
The best part of staff for me personally is being able to gain new friends is so fulfilling, and you get to do that while getting paid.
At Lost Pines, everything begins with a quality staff. So join us and make some amazing memories this summer at Lost Pines.
I can tell you from personal experience, when I was your age or younger, one of the most impactful experiences I ever had was serving on a camp staff. Now, my camp was in Arkansas, it was much smaller, but it was still meant so much to me. It's memories that I've held on to ever since then. And on top of that, as a lot of us do, we've given our time to Lost Pines. I served 20 plus years as a camp commissioner. It is a special place. It's that place I go to when I need to maybe recharge, when I need to be reminded of my responsibilities, not only as an Eagle Scout, but as a volunteer. So I hope you will consider joining camp staff for 2025 for Lost Pines Scout Reservation. The application is available, and they will be hiring. So please consider. Time for our, usually we call it the Scout Master Minute. We will revise it to call the Scout Executive Minute. So I'd like to ask our Scout Executive, the CEO of the Calculator Council, John Yates, to come and say a few words.
Did I hear an S at that end of that minute? Did I hear minutes, Stu? So, or was it just a singular minute? Today's one of my favorite days, and this is actually my 13th year to be able to be a part of the Cavalry Council's Eagle Scout celebration, which means that some of you have heard the same speech 13 times and have challenged me to come up with some different and new remarks. In fact, Charles was actually even scripting me out. I know what John's going to talk about later, but I am going to try to add a bit of a twist since some of you have heard me on this podium 13 years. So I love what we do. I love our duty to God, duty to country, duty to self. And also I would say that where I feel scouting makes a difference is duty to family. I think I'm connected to my parents in a way different because of my scouting experiences. And I'm connected to my kids through scouting. My mom will tell you that she was the only reason that my scouting program continued as a Cub Scout, because she was the only one in the ring that would sign up to be the Webelos den leader. She was the only one that said, I'll do it. And that was why I was able to continue in my scouting journey. And my dad will also mention that when my very first scouting troop folded, after about 2 months of being a troop and being in a scout troop, I showed up to the parking lot and for the camp out, and the scoutmaster said, not only are we not going on the camp out, but we are disbanding the troop. Within about a month, my dad and a few others were able to start Troop 1039, where I did have a scouting experience. Andy, you talked about exploring in your remarks as a key component. I loved exploring. In the camp that I grew up at, I had 2 scout camps at one time, but they had changed one of those into a conference center. And I was exploring at the camp, as you typically do as a scout. And I discovered a secret chapel. I was all excited about it. And I noticed that at the chapel, there was two markers for a youth and an adult from Pasadena, Texas. So I went back to tell my dad, who had grown up in Pasadena, and I said, guess what? And I spent about 5 or 10 minutes explaining this new chapel that I found. And he let me run on with that story a little while. And he said, John, you do know that I helped build that chapel. No, I didn't know that, Dad. My mom will also hates me when I say this, but I think in college, she said, John, you need to do a little less scouting because you can't make a career out of it. I now have 32 years in, so I like telling her that I proved her at least just once wrong. But they weren't the only ones that made a difference in my scouting program. Wayne Woodall, Jim DiStefano, Mr. Morlock, countless others were the reasons that I had a scouting program. And I would encourage you, so third homework assignment, and this is the long-term play assignment, is when you find that coin 5 years down the road and you look at it, I want you to take the time and call a scouting leader that made a difference for you. You listed a few of them on those cards, the scouting mentors that you recognized. Call them up and tell them what you're doing. It will make the world of difference to that scouting volunteer that they will love that phone call. And you'll love giving it. And do it again down the road. Keep connected with them. Keep thanking them, because those volunteers, this program doesn't work without them. Speaking of volunteers, there's a bunch in this room that have put this program on. If you help support this program as a volunteer, please raise your hand and let us recognize you. They don't let me do anything on this program because I'll just mess stuff up. But Charles Meade provides the lead staff role in this. Probably starts working on this about a week from now for next year's program to put all those videos together and to make sure that we get an honored speaker like you all the details that make this program work, he starts working on it almost a year in advance. So Charles, specifically to you, thank you. And one other staff person that's not here but should get some credit, when you look at those Eagle panels, who carefully went through and made sure that the names that were on those Eagle Scout applications were spelled like that on the tablets, on the pre-tablets before we got them printed. And who spends a lot of time working through all the Eagle Scout logistics. Help me recognize Carrie Smeaton for the work she did on. Parents and scouts, I know we've talked a little bit about scholarship, one specifically, but I'm going to mention a few. We have talked about the Byron Lockhart Scholarship, and this year we were giving 3 $5,000 scholarships. I sense very soon, because of the nature of the gift, that we're going to be able to provide $75,000 to $100,000 in scholarships, not just $15,000. And so that's going to be a significant growing scholarship that you will see more and more being given out every year. And I know Christian, where are you, Christian? I saw you here, there you are. Christian wants to view 300 applications for those scholarships. Is that right? That's what you told me. Is that you love the more the merrier. We would love every Eagle Scout to fill that out. And the secret, really, there's only 2 requirements: Eagle Scout and Capital Area Council. That's it. That's the only requirements. And so what the committee has done is really look at what scouting have they done. And so the ones that you saw being recognized are really super scouts that have a lot of activity. They probably were on an NYLT, maybe served on NYLT staff, served on summer camp staff, maybe day camp, supported day camp. Maybe got involved with one of our older youth programs like Venturing or Sea Scouting, or our career awareness programs in Explore. There's also a scholarship. I see a few of our conservation folks back there that we give to any, not just, it's not a selection process, but currently the setup for the John Bradshaw Conservation Scholarship is that you just have to earn the Harrison McClure Conservation Award. And that's all that's required. There's no selection process beyond that. And that's a $1,000 scholarship. If you want to know more about that, there's a conservation table outside near the scout shop just outside by the plaza. And Heather Ball and others are out there, and they can talk to you about that. And I know that we also provide a summer camp one summer camp staff scholarship for higher education. Richard Fant is kind of the chair of that effort. Richard, thank you for your leadership for that. And that, I believe, is a one-time $5,000 scholarship as well. So there's plenty of scholarship money just to grab here locally that your scouts can take advantage of. Richard, I think, has also a booth out there. So if you want to talk to Richard about summer camp, I know Richard would be happy to talk to you. And with that, I think I'm going to give it back to Stu.
Thank you, John. Before we conclude, we have one Eagle that we need to recognize. So, Charles.
Stu, what's better than recognizing a whole bunch of Eagles? Recognizing one more Eagle from the class of 2024. So, ladies and gentlemen, imagine the music in your head. Dun, 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 dun. Help me recognize Cannon Coburn from Scouts BSA Troop 161 from North Shore District. All right. And Stu, if you want to do the honors.
I will. Congratulations. That concludes our recognition of the class of 2024 Eagle Scouts. Before we all dismiss, I want to once again recognize the Capital Area Council Eagle Scout class of 2024. Thanks to everybody that came. Please stick around for refreshments in the foyer. Oh, Eagle Scouts. Follow the leader. There you go. Okay. See Charles? Go to Charles, please. I had a feeling that was going to happen. Again, thank you for coming. Please stick around for the refreshments in the foyer. Have a great day. Happy Scouting.